It's like the hardest thing you have to do. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I just wanted to do a really quick disclaimer before I start this vlog. There is a little bit of footage in this vlog that is a little bit uncomfortable to watch. I wouldn't recommend watching this vlog if you do have issues with seeing sick animals. There is going to be a little bit of footage in here from Baby and her crisis that she had, and it's a little bit uncomfortable to watch. There's nothing really graphic, there's no blood, no nothing. It just is a little bit emotional to watch. So I just wanted to let you guys know that before we start the video. I think it is important for me to show exactly what happened for the potential of being able to help other people who are in the same situation. So that is why I thought it was a good idea to include the footage that I did. But just so you know, there could be some footage in here that is uncomfortable and hard to watch and really sad. So with all that said, let's jump into this video and we'll be back at the end of the video to explain how Baby is doing now.
Baby, are you stuck? Baby. Hey. Are you stuck?
And she was laying in the very front of the crate with her back up against the door. And I kind of looked at her like, what are you doing? Like, are you laying there? Like, what's going on? But I could tell that something was off. So I opened the crate and I was like, hey baby, come on. And she wasn't moving at all. So I went in and kind of like shook her a little bit and she still did not move. Like, she was completely gone.
Okay.
Instantly I started to think, oh my gosh, she's gone. She's not there anymore.
Okay. 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 Oh my god.
And she was completely lifeless. Her head swung back like this and her tongue was sticking out and she was just completely gone. So that was the moment where I thought, oh my god, like going into panic mode right now.
Baby's not moving. She's not moving.
Take her to the vet.
Oh my god. I think so.
Put your finger on her neck.
Oh my god. She kind of moves when I move her.
You will then take her to the vet.
So I put her on the ground and I was shaking her, as you could see, because I wanted to see if she was still breathing, and her paw flicked and I was like, good, she's alive, she's still there, I still have something that I can deal with here.
Baby's not moving.
Okay. Okay, baby. I don't think that she's alive, honey.
Oh, she is.
And then as I was walking out the door, you see me kind of like go back like this and hold her out, and that's because she started peeing. And it was like the yellowest pee I have ever seen in my life, so I knew that she was really dehydrated. But I was really happy. I was really happy that she actually was doing something, because that was the only thing that she had actually done physically since I had taken her out of the crate.
It's okay, we're gonna go to the hospital, okay? It's alright. It's okay, honey. It's okay, Mama's gonna take you to the hospital, okay? It's okay.
So I ended up taking her to the vet, and I walked in with her in the towel and she was still unresponsive, still, her head was still back on my arm as I took her out into the vet, and I handed her off to one of the girls that was there, and she quickly came over and just grabbed her from me and took her, and the minute that they took her away from my arms, I just bawled. I just stood there. There was a whole bunch of people in the waiting room. They were all watching me bring her in. Nobody knew what to do, I don't think. Everybody was kind of like unsure. So one of the ladies there told me to go into one of the rooms that they had available, so that's what I did. And I just went in there and pretty much cried. And that is where you see me updating the camera a little bit. And I just wanted to kind of get in that moment, that my real feelings, and explain kind of what was going on so you can get the real thoughts about what was happening with that.
I'm at the vet right now. I woke up this morning to go and give baby food, and she was in her crate and she wouldn't move. She was like pushed up against the door. So I had to pick her out of the crate, and she was just like, she was just like dead weight. She wouldn't even like, I picked her up and her head just went back. So I took her to the vet clinic and I brought her in and I gave her to the other technician. And they took her to the back and they put her on like fluids and stuff, and then they came back and said that she was unresponsive and her blood glucose levels were really, really low, so her blood is really thick. So they need to give her fluids and stuff until her blood levels get up to a point where they can take blood tests to see if it's toxicity. So we're waiting for her to get stable. I was gonna see if I could go and change and come back because they don't know how long it's gonna be. But then the vet tech told me that I wasn't allowed to leave because they don't know if something will happen in between the time it takes me to leave and come back. So I'm just in this room right now, hanging out, waiting for her. I had to sign a form telling them that it's okay to resuscitate her. It's like the hardest thing you have to do. My mom keeps telling me that she's old and that I shouldn't spend all this money on keeping her alive. But she's like my baby, you know? She's like my child. I can't just let her go when there's something I could do.
The doctor said that she was kind of like going up and then going down again and going up and going down again. So they wouldn't let me leave. They wanted me there just in case if anything happened. They wanted me to be there with her to make the choice.
So update, we just had the nurse or the doctor, a vet, I don't even know, come in and she told me that she thinks that she had a stroke because she's leaning really hard to the left side. So she's concerned that there's neurological damage. She said that they are trying to get her temperature back up, but normal is 37 to something and she's 32. So she's concerned that they're not going to be able to get her stable. And they still can't do any tests because she's still not at the point where they can take any blood. So she said usually not seeing her is a good thing. But if she comes in the door running, she just needs me to come with her. I'm just so scared that I'm gonna have to go home with nothing, and Billy's gonna be so confused because she's not with me. I'm not prepared for this by myself.
Got a couple more degrees to go. Okay, so I'm just gonna see how we respond on the third. Cause here. Still seem a little bit out of it to you? Or is this just, you know her best?
She looks like she's trying.
Okay. You're starting to breathe like a little chihuahua now.
Girl.
So she's improved enough, and I've got enough of my results here that if you still want to go home and change or anything like that, I think it's safer for you to do that at this point, because I don't want to transfer her until we've got a low normal body temperature. So we're still a couple of degrees away from that. So we're going to keep going with our fluids and our external warming, making sure her blood glucose is okay. And then I think as soon as she's stable enough for transfer, we're going to beeline you.
Are you trying to look around? It's so warm in there. It's so warm.
They had her in this kind of like heating vacuum type thing that they were heating her in. They had her under a whole bunch of blankets, which you see, and they had her on glucose and a whole bunch of fluids so that they could keep her levels high enough so that they wouldn't lose her. So they wanted to make sure that her levels were good enough for me to be able to transport her from one vet clinic to the Guardian Hospital.
I'm at home right now. I just changed because this baby had peed all over my shirt. So I'm just getting some stuff, some water and some snacks. And then Billy and I are gonna go back to the hospital and go pick her up. Hey, Billy. Wanna go see babies? You wanna go see babies? I know, honey. She'll be okay. Things are kind of looking up, but we're just not 100% certain, so that's where we're at.
At around 3 o'clock, they decided that it was good enough for her to quickly have me take her from the vet clinic to the Guardian Hospital, but they said, I want you to take her directly there, and I want you to tell them that they have to put her back on these fluids as soon as you get her there, because they weren't sure if she was gonna make it otherwise. So we took her to the hospital, and they ended up telling me that they think that she could possibly have Addison's disease, but Addison's disease doesn't usually happen to dogs at her age. They said that usually they find it from dogs that are 7 and under, and she is already 8.5. So they were a little bit concerned, and she was also really concerned because her head was stuck to the side and if she wasn't moving it. So she said that isn't really conclusive with Addison's disease, so that was the one factor that they were kind of unsure of. And so that's when she said that she could possibly have had a stroke because she was kind of stuck to the one side.
It feels really cold again. So baby is still in the hospital. She is in the overnight at the Guardian Pet Hospital. They got her to a stable condition, and I was able to transport her from the vet clinic that I was at to the Guardian at the hospital. And they have stabilized her, and they are just running some tests right now. They think that it might be Addison's disease, so they're just doing some checks to make sure that that's what it is, but there is some things that they're not really sure of. They're not really matching that description. Her head is like turned to the left like this, and she can't like turn it right, so they think that that's called, like, that's congruent with a stroke. and her eyes are really bloodshot, and there's like bloody tears around them, so that's kind of not really congruent with that either. I'm gonna try to get some sleep. Hopefully I'll wake up tomorrow with some better news. We are at the hospital right now, coming to see her. We're gonna see how she's doing.
Happy. Did she come see you? Is Dad talking over there?
See, she's turning her head right, so that's good. That's really good.
She's just trying to walk. Aww.
Careful over Ivy. She's like pushing her head so hard.
Thanks for saving my butt.
Who's that? Is that your baby sister? Oh my goodness. Hi. Look at her tail. Aw, she's so happy. Aw. Oh my goodness. Yeah, she's so happy. Look at her. Aw. She's so... Aw. Girl. You're doing so good.
Right now to go and pick up baby. She has been in the hospital for 3 days now.
Something like that.
They said that she has been getting up to go to her food dish, which is really good news. She's trying to eat. She is still tremoring, but they said that she's walking a little bit better now, which is really good. They think it has to do with the loss of oxygen to her brain when she collapsed. They said that she does have Addison's disease, or all her tests came back conclusive to Addison's disease, so that's what they are treating her for, and this will mean that she has to be on steroids and one other hormone for the rest of her life. If a dog has Addison's disease, they said that they could live long, healthy lives. They just hope that she doesn't have anything else going on. We are going to take her home and monitor her for today and make sure that things are going well. Alright guys, we got her home. How you doing, babies? Do you hear that, Billy? Do you hear him? Billy's pretty excited. Hey, Billy? Are you pretty excited? Oh man, she cannot walk. Good girl. Okay.
What's that one? I drop?
Good girl. Oh, you're so hungry.
I don't know about the shake thing, man. It doesn't seem like it's much better. It seemed like it at first, but she's struggling.
Hello guys, we are on our way right now to go and take baby to her recheck appointment.
So I figured I'd film because I filmed what had all happened and stuff. So she seems to be doing really good. She's walking straight on her own now. She isn't really wobbling as much. She still has a lot of problems trying to get around and stuff, but she's doing a lot better and really fast. So I have faith that everything should be fine. Hopefully we'll figure out how much of a dosage we need to give her, if we'll need to give her a steroid shot every month and a pill, or if she'll need something else. And then they'll probably need to do some blood work. So, all right, baby girls, ready to go? Let's go see your doctor. Oh my goodness, you're so cute. You're so cute. Alright, so now that you've seen all the footage and have seen what happened, I just wanted to come in here and do a little bit of an update. It has been a few weeks since baby's accident, so I just wanted to explain kind of where she's at now and what's happening and how she's doing. With Addison's disease, you have to basically take them in once a week to get blood work done until they can get her levels to the levels that they want. So we have to take her in every week to get blood work done until they think that her levels are right, and then we'll have to take her in every month from here on out until for the rest of her life. So we've gone for about 3 weeks now to do her blood test, and every time they've changed her dosage because her sodium levels were really high for the 1 week, so we gave her more of the pill, and now for this week her liver levels are really high, so they are decreasing the fluid for us this week, and then we'll have to go back again next week to make sure that everything's kind of balanced out. So once they figure out a balance, then it will just be every month, but it will still be a monthly cost that we have to incur. So fast forward to now, and baby is doing great. She no longer has the tremor. It does every once in a while like pop up and I see her kind of shake a little bit, but she's at the point now where she's able to stand on her own. At the beginning, I was having to hold her up to go outside to pee. I was having to hold her up to drink water, to eat. But now she's able to do all of that on her own. She is pretty much a different dog at this point because she is wanting to run and jump off of everything. And before, she used to be just like the laziest dog. She would just lay wherever you put her. So I have to get up every morning at 6 a.m. and every night at 6 p.m. and give her her medication. So it has changed a lot in my life. I am not a morning person, if you know me. So that has been a really big change, having to get up at 6 a.m. every day to give her her medication. It's honestly something that I'm willing to do if it means that she's gonna be okay. It's been a little bit of a change having to get up at 6 a.m. every morning and having to spend $5,000 to make sure that she's okay. But in my mind, I thought that if I had the money and I had the means to be able to save her, who am I to decide that I wasn't gonna do that and I wasn't gonna spend that money and I was just gonna let her go? Like, that's not my place to be able to decide that I'm just not gonna spend the money. That's not worth it to me. If it wasn't for Alex helping out with her, I would have had to let her go, honestly. Like, he really stepped up. He basically told me on the phone, like, just do whatever you have to do to keep her alive. And he said it's just money and we can always replace it. I don't know what I would have done if it weren't for him helping out with this scenario. So I'm so thankful that he's in our lives and that he's so willing to help them and help me in any scenario. So I know that a lot of people have said that I should have just let her go, and I should have just, like, she's an old dog and I should have just let her go at that moment. But honestly, they're my babies and I can't, like, if I have the means to be able to save them, then I'm gonna do that, because as a pet parent, I feel like that is my responsibility to make sure that they're safe and make sure that they are healthy. And if I have the means to be able to help them, then I should do that. And I'm not saying that if you don't have the means that you're a bad pet parent if you can't help them. I'm just saying that you have to help to the best of your ability. So if you can't afford it, then that's okay. That's just what was meant to happen, and you have to be okay with that. And you shouldn't feel guilty if you can't help them. Helping them to the best of your ability is just all you can do. And honestly, if it got to the point where she still was unresponsive and she still wasn't getting any better and we were at the $5,000 mark, I would have had to pull the plug. Honestly, I would have had to say, okay, this is enough. She's suffering. Like, I have to let her go. And that would have been the choice. And that's how it would have been meant to happen. And having this experience has made me realize that she is 8.5 and my other dog, Billy, is almost 11 at this point, and Billy has been with me my whole life. He is my dog. Like, Baby is actually my mom's dog. We just have her because we didn't want to separate Billy and Baby because they love each other so much. So honestly, like, she isn't even really my dog. She is my dog and I love her so much. I love her unconditionally. But Billy, if anything ever happened to him, I don't even know what I would do. It would be so hard to deal with that. And I know that it's gonna happen at some point. And I honestly feel like this happening to Baby was kind of my wake-up call to know that one day it's coming. And he's old and she's old and it's gonna happen one day. And I think that this was kind of my preparation. I'm just enjoying every little moment that I have with them right now and understanding that dogs and humans and your family and your loved ones get old, and that's okay, and you just kind of have to deal with it the best you can. So try not to cry. So anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope if you are struggling with something like this or your animal is sick, that this video helped you in some way. And thank you so much for sticking with me to the end of this video. I know that it was really emotional and sad to watch. If you have a dog who is experiencing these symptoms and had something like this happen, I just want you to know that it is possible to get them back to where they were before, and it is possible to have them live a long, healthy life, and it's gonna be okay. I know that experiencing moments like that where they're just completely unresponsive and gone is scary, and it's really hard to deal with. But I just want you to know that it is possible for them to be like this again and just happy and healthy. So I hope that I have given you a little bit of hope in this video, and I hope that none of it was too hard to watch. I know that it was really emotional and it was really sad, but I needed to share my experience and I needed to share how Baby looked in that moment, because I think that it could really help another person who is dealing with an animal who has Addison's disease or who maybe is unresponsive and they're in the vet right now. I just want you to know that you should always have hope and that it is possible for them to come out happy and healthy, and you're gonna get through this. Please give Baby a thumbs up for doing better, and hopefully she continues to do better. And thank you so much, guys. I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.